What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob. Back to a brand new video. Today I am here for the second episode of the Iceman Returns here on F1 2012, and there you just saw an incident that we had in Q2, which unfortunately meant we weren't able to get into Q3, and so we are starting on the grid in 12th with our teammate Roman Grosjean qualifying in 9th place. But just to point out that I am doing this in first person just because it's what I feel more comfortable with, but if you want me to go out to third person for China, then that is what I would do. But looking at the grid, Mark Webber qualified in pole with Fernando Alonso in second with Jensen Button ahead of his teammate, rounding out the top three, and Lewis Hamilton is in fourth, followed by two Mercedes, Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg. Sebastian Vettel, the reigning champion, finished in seventh, with Perez, Grosjean and Kobayashi rounding out the top 10 of qualifying. But we are now looking at race strategy, and obviously normal fuel strategy for this race, but there is a 66% chance of rain, so pitching on lap 12 to the primes may change. But nevertheless, we are going to go out onto the grid now, and yeah, so first person for this race. If you do want to change it back to third person for China, then I will do that. But we are now going out onto the grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix. We had a good result last time. Now let's see what we can do here. So obviously now we are on the grid, and you can see Mark Webber on pole and our teammate Roman Grosjean in 9th and ourselves in 12th place. So obviously we're going to try and move up in this race, and we'll just have to see what we can do, because I don't know how we are going to fare in this race. But we are revving up to 5 lights, and now away we go. We get a decent start, it looks like, as we get a run alongside. Actually, Kobayashi got quite a fairly bad start, as Maldonado actually got it back up in the second start, in the second phase, and breaking up into first corner. We're down to first gear. We've actually dropped down to P13, but we are coming back up through the inside, and we are now up into 9th place. And next up on our hit list is Nico Rosberg coming up into turn 3, and you see we have Perez behind us now. But coming up into turn 3, we are going to look up the inside Nico Rosberg. I've actually got in the inside of 3 cars, including our teammate, and that puts us up in 6th, behind Sebastian Vettel, and ahead of our teammate Roman Grosjean. And coming through here, we make a little mistake by running wide, and that actually lets Roman Grosjean, our teammate, back past us. And now we are behind Grosjean, but we are obviously faster. We have been faster all weekend, including in qualifying, but we weren't able, well, not in qualifying, but because we had that incident with him. But now we've got the inside, slight contact, and Roman Grosjean goes off the track, and that gives us a penalty. So we have a drive-through penalty, and we decided to serve it at the end of this lap. I decided there was no point carrying on until we took the penalty, because the field would be more spread out, but we would just drop further and further back, and the other guys would be too far ahead to catch. So I thought, let's serve it on the first lap, get it over and done with, then we can go racing once again. And I was thinking, well, may as well take it now, because if I don't, I'm just going to drop down, and I'll be too far behind. I'll be close. I might not rejoin as far back, but I will be. But the guys ahead will be too far ahead, and I can't catch them by the end of the race. So instead, we decided to take it on the first lap, just driving through the pits, and obviously while dropping down, now we have dropped down from further than we were in qualifying, and because we qualified in 12th, and we dropped down to 20th place, and so all 24 drivers still in the race, but we rejoined in 20th, so we didn't actually lose all places and go down to the back of the grid, but we actually rejoined in 20th place and behind High Line, so we haven't actually lost out that much. But coming up into turn 3, obviously we are using our cars and looking to go quite high up and looking to catch up to them. We are only 8 tenths behind Grosjean, behind Kovalainen, and Kovalainen actually is trying to attack Massa, but he has to back off, and we just slip it up the inside and slot in behind Massa, and I think we can get past Massa. We seem to be faster, and obviously Massa, our former teammate, and obviously our former team is Ferrari, and Massa is still there, but we go to the outside, go up into the rich mix, and we go around the outside and actually shift down to first gear, give him room, make sure we give him room, we don't want another penalty, and we do get the pass done up into 18th place. Next up on our hit list is the rookie Charles Pic in the Malaysia. Obviously, Pic this is his second race compared to ourselves, Raikkonen, because we are obviously a world champion, and we get so very close to Pic there, and again so very close, but we still make no contact, and on the straight we are able to get much better traction, and we get up into 17th place. And now, as we are skipping on to lap 13, you can see it's gotten darker, and we have gone one lap longer than our recommended pit stop as we fly around John Eric Verne. But I think we are going to rate it out until the rain period, but obviously we're taking the lead as drivers come into the pits. But I think we are now going to have some team radio from Lotus to Kimi Raikkonen.
Alright then, Kimi, I think we're going to stick with this until the rain period.
So there you have it. Kimi Raikkonen is sticking it out to the rain period. We are sticking it out to the rain period, and obviously lap 14 now. We are going to stick it out on these dry tyres, and now we are on lap 17, and you can see how wet it is, but it was really strange because in some parts of the track it wasn't as wet as it is in the third sector. It was really I don't know whether to go for the intermediate tyres or just carry on going, because it was very, very strange. But we are coming in for the intermediate because I felt that it was the best decision to come in now, because some parts of the track were just too wet, and it was getting too wet to carry on the dry tyres. So we're coming into the pit, and we actually took our tyres 5 laps longer than the team wanted us to. So obviously we are now on the intermediate tyres, 3.6 seconds up, and I was actually just doing some maths when I was quite there, because maths isn't that quick. I hadn't prearranged it before this, but anyway, now we have only lost one place, we are into P2, and Fernando Alonso is ahead, but none of the AI drivers, for some reason, went on to the intermediate tyres the same lap as me. I think some back markers did because they were enough to lose, but most drivers didn't. But now DRS is disabled due to the conditions actually on this lap right now, and it looks like we are actually so quick, and it is obviously too wet for the dry tyres. Fernando Alonso has spun, and that gifts us the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix back into our hands. And now we just need to keep the car on the road, really, as now we are coming on to lap 20. We have a 37-second lead over Michael Schumacher at this stage, but look how wet it is there. 52 miles per hour going around the final corner, and going around the penultimate corner, and still losing the back and still sliding out wide. So now we are on lap 20, and we are going on into the pits to fit on the wet tyres. There you can see 37.4 second lead over Michael Schumacher, and it got too wet to stay on these tyres, so we decided to come into the pits and fit the wet tyres, because we made a perfect strategy call on lap 17, which was to come into the pits. That was a perfect lap to swap over to the wet tyres, to the intermediate tyres, and it turns out that lap 20 was the perfect time to switch over to the wet tyres, as we have a 3-second pit stop, and other drivers were still on the dries at this point, and I didn't know how, because it was a stupid decision. But you can see the field was really spread out, but they did come in at the end of this lap for the wet tyres, and we were actually having a really good race. And now we are cutting on to the end of the Grand Prix, the final lap, as we are coming around the final corner with a 29-second lead to Michael Schumacher in second place, and we are coming across the line to win our first race since our comeback.
Fantastic win, mate. What a brilliant result after that first lap penalty. Great job, Kimi. Well done.
So there you have it. Kimi Raikkonen has won his first race since his comeback after starting 12th on the grid. The race results are now on your screen. We won the race with Michael Schumacher coming in second, Sebastian Vettel running out the podium, and it was quite interesting. But now looking at the Drivers' Championship after the Malaysian Grand Prix, Kimi Raikkonen leads the way ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in third, with Michael Schumacher in fourth and Alonso in fifth. Sixth was our teammate Roman Grosjean, and now you can see the constructors standings. Lotus now lead the way ahead of McLaren and Red Bull in third, and Mercedes move up to fourth. But that's it from me. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big like. Comment down below what you thought. Subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at F1Petred_. As always, there's links that down in the description, and I will see you next time.